What's up, guys and girls? Giovanni here, and today I'm gonna be reviewing the season 5 premiere, and it looks like it's had a change up. With that being said, let's get into the video.
Alright then. On with the show.
So the episode starts off with Raven and Booker already in San Francisco. They're already there because the plot of the episode is they come to San Francisco because Raven's dad, Victor, had a mild heart attack. Now I want to say right there is I don't like how the episode starts. It should have started with Raven and Booker in Chicago, like Raven is watching TV. Judge Giovanni, call back to that. And Booker arrives home from school. Then they get the call from Tanya, who wasn't even mentioned in this episode, telling them that Victor is in the hospital and tells them to come and visit. Boom. Already made it better. Plus, how much time has passed since the season 4 finale? Because Booker's leg needed 2 weeks to heal. So how much time has passed? Raven and Booker get a taxi, and the driver is none other than Tom Cole himself from Cobra Kai. With the few scenes he had in this episode, he was quite funny. As Tom Cole is driving Raven and Booker to the hospital, Raven talks about past events that happened during That's So Raven.
My hometown. So many memories. Like that time I impersonated a world-famous boy band. Oh, and then there was that time I almost got eaten by a killer plant. And then that time that I infiltrated a day spa to meet a pop star and accidentally kidnapped her dog.
The actors, when promoting Raven's Home Season 5, they said it would have lots of nostalgia. That's good. I like that. But don't do it to just do it. It has to come fluently in the dialogue. But even if it doesn't come fluently, I'm going to let it slide for a while, because they have earned the fan service, the Easter eggs, because the past 5 seasons, they would rarely reference events, characters from the original show, and that's a problem I've always had with this show since the show started. It's like, yeah, That's So Raven happened, but you don't need to watch that show to watch Raven's Home. So it is a sequel, but it's a standalone sequel. So going forward with these references and being back in San Francisco, I hope this show becomes what it should have been since season 1, and that is a sequel, not a standalone sequel. Once they reach the hospital, the intro plays, and I'm very annoyed they kept the Raven's Home theme song. I've been saying this since the pilot, that it is bad. I said I want to get a new intro.
Booker and the Bookettes
are all grown up, so it made sense. But then, new cast, the move to San Francisco. I said, oh, they gotta use That's So Raven's theme song now because they're back in the hometown from where the series originally started. But nope. With the intro change in terms of visual appearance, they also changed up the lyrics a little bit. So instead of Chelsea saying, "Tell him, Ray," it's Booker saying, "Tell him, Mom." I tell you, it doesn't feel the same. Enough about that. Let's move on. Booker is getting some chips, and then we are introduced to one of the new characters of the series, Alice Baxter, and she is the daughter to Betty Jane, from Country Cousins, one of the best episodes of all time. Alice moved down to San Francisco to live with Victor so she can go to school for geniuses. And from first impressions, I can definitely see myself liking her in the future. Right now, just from this episode, she was decent. And I also could have seen her joining the cast during seasons 1 through 4. I just don't get how Booker doesn't know her. I guess the writers probably want Booker to be the audience on who is this new character. This could have been easily done by saying Booker only saw her in a baby photo and Raven only mentioning her a couple times. So Booker wouldn't even know what she looked like during seasons 1 through 4 and even before that. I still say Alice should have been the daughter to Andrea, that cousin. But in due time, maybe that character will be showing up again. You know who also should show up in due time? Betty Jane, her mother. She comes to San Francisco to check up on her daughter. And the person playing her, Miss Samuels, is still acting today. Even she wants to be on the show. I don't get why her name is Alice Baxter. Shouldn't it be Alice Jane? Writers, hopefully in the future you will reveal her full name. And that is Alice Jane Baxter. That way you could keep her mother's last name. Plot B in this episode is Booker being responsible. Booker will say he's responsible. However, everyone will laugh at him on saying he could be responsible. And I'm like, Didn't we cover this of him being responsible? This was basically his character arc from seasons 1 through 4. His responsibility was to take Alice home and take care of her. At this point, the second new character was introduced, and I'ma just slide right past him saying, I don't like him. When getting home, the third new character is introduced, and she's better than Tess back in season 1. The pilot, at least. She's just okay during this episode. Nothing much to say. When Raven and Victor are alone having a one-on-one talk, Raven says to her dad that he's not as young as he used to be. He has to easy down on the junk food. Victor starts lying about going to the gym. He will go to the gym. His heart monitor just starts beeping, telling Raven he's lying. With this, Raven starts asking her dad some questions. Number 1. Does Victor love Raven more than Corey? He says he loves them equally. The heart monitor goes off. After that question, Raven has more questions, but I'm only gonna talk about the ones that really matter. Number 2. Did Victor quit the White House? Or did he get fired from the White House?
That is an excellent question.
What a nice reference to Corey in the house. They even bring it up again later on in the episode. I do hope this gets answered sometime during season 5. I know I said I want Corey to become president, but I've had a change of thought and hope Sophia becomes president, and it has nothing to do with Kyle in real life. If Madison comes onto the show, she could be the one to answer, did Victor quit or get fired? The second Victor leaves the room, plot A finally happens. Raven gets a vision thinking Victor dies, and so she's going to try to do everything to prevent that. She goes to the counter lady asking to try to speak to Victor, and this scene got a big laugh out of me.
I need to know where you took my dad.
He's in exam room B.
How do I get in there?
You do 4 years of medical school.
Quit playing, I'm in a hurry.
Oh, you're in a hurry. Well, nursing school is only 2 years.
When she can't get to him, Raven does what she does best, and that is masquerade, dress up, to fool someone to get to a certain place. Raven has to pop a zit on a person, otherwise her cover is blown, and she almost says her catchphrase.
Oh, that's nasty.
Raven grabs Victor, and as they're on their way out, they run into Booker. Raven tells Booker about her vision, and I really hope Booker and Raven becomes what Nia was to Booker. And what I mean by that is, remember Nia was always saying to Booker, don't take your vision out of context? I hope Booker does that to Raven.
Listen, I had a vision that something bad was going to happen to my dad, so I'm busting him out of here.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely sure. Trust me, I saw it clear as day.
And Raven better get more visions this season, because it's a short list of her getting visions throughout this show. Definitely less than 10. While it sucks, she didn't say the "ya nasty" catchphrase. She did say the
Snap!
catchphrase. Anyway, just like Raven in her disguises, she eventually gets caught, and Booker and Raven have to escape. They escape by riding down the stairs, which was not planned. And as they are going downstairs, they realize they are not with Victor. After the joyride downstairs, Victor shows up and figures out what's happened. Victor ends up saying the old TV show name.
That's so Raven. He said it. He said it.
They leave the hospital in a rush before she can get arrested. At the end of the episode, Booker and Alice have a nice bonding moment. I definitely see myself liking this relationship in the future. Another relationship I hope to come to like in the future is Alice and Victor. Throughout the episode, Alice will show concern for her uncle. She even left home to go back to him. I like Alice has a nickname for Victor, Papa. I hope they show them bonding during this season. Otherwise, you know, trash. Raven and Booker leave, but then they have to come back because Nia asks, did Raven have her tickets, luggage, and purse, because she forgot her luggage and Booker at the beginning of the episode. I'm guessing Booker told her about this. When arriving back at the house, she sees her dad eating ribs. Right before she left, Victor said he was going to start eating healthy, but he lied once again. So Raven decides she's going to stay in San Francisco to watch over Victor and make sure he eats healthy and goes to the gym. So the plot for season 5 is Raven needs to make sure her dad eats healthy and go to the gym. I wonder how they're going to justify Booker staying and not just sending him back home with Devon and Nia. Before I go, let's talk about Nia. Throughout this whole episode, Nia would be brought up. As said before, Booker's plot was about being responsible, and at every turn, they got someone saying Nia was the more responsible one, which is true looking back at past seasons. And they will call Booker Nia's brother.
I'm not just Nia's brother, all right? I'm Booker.
I really do miss Nevia Robinson. Heck, I miss the whole cast. But if the show was just now, Booker, Raven, and Nia, that would have been awesome. Would still suck that there's no Chelsea, Levi, and Tess in this scenario. Getting back to Nia, Raven told Booker not to compare himself to Nia. He's just as responsible.
You really need to stop comparing yourself to your sister. I mean, you're just as responsible as she is.
I don't know about that. Nia is so responsible that she's heading to Gotham to protect it. Congratulations, Miss Robinson. Now, personally, I think Gotham Knights is gonna be trash and cancelled after season 1 because it's the CW. But I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna support you in your work because I'm a fan of you. So I might just watch a few clips on YouTube once it's out. Then when and if you, Miss Robinson, comes back to Raven's home, I know the writers are gonna throw in a Robin reference. Nia, keep protecting the environment and the people. One last thing before I go. I want to say they did a good job replicating the Baxter residence in the show. They did move the fridge and front door over a little, but for the most part, it looks nice. Real nice. Gotta wait to see the other parts of the house will look like. Raven's old room, the basement, etc. I wonder, did they keep the set of Raven's house in Chicago or did they tear it down? But that's all I gotta say about that. My grade for season 5, episode 1 will be a 8 out of 10. So, get your fingers up and say it with me. That's so Raven. Bye.